what influences our emotions. So, number one, I just talked about this, is our thoughts. What we think on a consistent basis. Our thoughts, they influence our emotions. So, if you're thinking happy thoughts, if you're thinking good thoughts, then you feel good and you feel happy. But if you think degrading thoughts, you think thoughts of lack, or you think thoughts of, anger or frustration, you think those thoughts, but or maybe you think about conditions that make you feel angry or frustrated, and then you choose that emotion or you choose that feeling. So your thoughts are one. I talked about last night. Your environment is another thing that influences our emotions. Environment. Also family dynamics, because sometimes we take on the persona of our families, we take on the dispositions of our family members, and so because we've been around our family members or we've inherited certain genes and all of that, it plays a part in our emotions as well. Another one is events that happens in and around your life. Uh, we went through pandemic, we went through a whole lot of things over the past 4 years, and those events could cause you to feel some type of emotion, various types of emotions. So events that happen, not just worldwide, but personal events that happens in your life, also plays a part in the emotions that you choose to in inter in internalize. The next one is culture. The type of culture that we are raised in and raised around influences our emotions. Also, experiences, whatever experiences you have, or even sometimes other people's experiences. I remember hearing this one pastor say, and I still believe this and know this and love this. He says, experience is not the best teacher. Holy Spirit is the best teacher. And then the second best teacher is other people's experience. So we have to be mindful of even just that, that our experiences also, we have these experiences that's happening in our lives, and then we have a choice in how we internalize that and feel. Another one is our learning or our intellect has a part in our emotional um, emotions and feelings, as well as society, what society says, what society thinks, uh, what what you have, what you have to be accepted in society, and all of that. That plays a part in how you show up emotionally. Also, social media. Social media has a role in how you show up emotionally as well. We don't recognize this because social media is really subtle. I was listening to an audiobook this morning, and he was talking about how our brains are programmed to respond to notifications. Notifications. Some people get a little high off of notifications when they get notifications from social media. Some people get anxiety when they get notifications on social media, or anxiety when they get email notifications. I know for me, last year when I went through all of the things that I went through, sometimes just getting mail brought some anxiety, because there were some things that I was expecting in the mail, and when I opened it, it wasn't good news and stuff like that. So that caused anxiety and caused me to feel a certain way, caused me to feel panicked and frustrated and upset and fearful, all of that. So, social media also is a cause of emotions, as well as our brain and our brain health. Mental health plays a part in. Um, I'm gonna separate the two, and I'm not a psychologist or anything like that. I'm gonna separate the two. Brain, meaning that your brain function. There are certain functions of the brain, like my niece who has brain injury. She has no, um, according to the doctors, the part of her brain that was injured was the part of her that affects her personality. Okay, and so brain injury or any type of brain function can influence our emotions. but also mental health, which is a little more encompassing. It's yes, it's the brain, but it's also other elements of that. So mental health is also one. And here's one that we don't talk about enough, but the ego. The ego, the ego, the ego. The ego, which is the component of us that um, is always comparing, always seeking its own gratification. And with that, those are what causes or influences our emotions. And we have to get into a space where we're able to recognize what influences our emotions so that we can know it, because self-awareness is very key in emotional health and balance and a well-being. Very key is being aware. So when we know what can influence our emotions, then now we can choose to make a decision when it comes to what we internalize within ourselves.